Good evening. Welcome to this evening's full moon forecast. What we have here is basically, all right, let me start over again. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Medium channel where we bring you the spirituality behind the message. And today we're going to talk about the Pisces, or I should say the Virgo full moon, and the five things that we need to know. There are some channel messages that they're mostly in points 4 and 5. I'm also going to include a couple of exercises and processes that Spirit gave me that are very specific to the energies of this full moon that we're in right now. Actually, it's already began, and I have some divination cards, so we'll get some messages directly from Spirit that way. So if you're watching this as a video, hang in there just for another minute or two. I just want to give the live people a minute or two to get on and to get their notifications, and I need more water. It's been that kind of day. I hope we're all feeling good and gearing up for things. And incidentally, tomorrow night we're going to do the full moon channeling, and that's going to be with Archangel Raphael. And the master teachers and other energies may show up. So Archangel, it's going to be very deep healing and subconscious clearing and cleansing type of a transmission that we're going to do. So we do those here on the full moons and the new moons, and then we do 2 channelings per month on Spirit Mind Family, which is our Patreon community. So the channeling we do here on YouTube is just as powerful as what we do on Patreon, but you just get to do more of it, and then the master teachers kind of treat you like you're I don't know what the right word's, a student or a frequent flyer or whatever you want to call it, but they work a little bit deeper with us. So I'll leave information on that, everything that you need. I'll leave information on the pinned comments about the March psychic predictions, as well as the last new moon psychic forecasts and things to watch out for, because the new moon sets the template for the entire lunar cycle. So what happens on the full moon is predicated upon things that are happening on the new moon. So get a few quick hello. Oh, okay, people found me. Like 20 new people just jumped on in the last minutes. Hey, Michael, MT, Susan, Carissa, and Doreen of Children's School of Yoga, and Maxine, MT, and TC, welcome. And Mari, and Mary, and Jody, and Roseanne, welcome. And Yvonne, happy evening. Good evening, everybody. And for anybody that I missed, Jill, hi, or Jillian, and Cranky Pants McGee, I love that name. And hi, Beth. All right. And I know there's a few more. Let's get down to business here. See, I've been doing a lot today, a lot of cleaning, running around. I'm going to be bringing my water a lot. But the Pisces energy is really strong. So that even though it's a Virgo full moon, there's some strong Pisces Neptunian energy that really adds flavor to this full moon. I'm going to discuss that in a minute. So, as usual, I'm going to have my face down a lot in my notes. So, firstly, the full moon is at 16 degrees of the sign Virgo. It's happening at 7:40 a.m. here on the east coast of the USA. It's happening, and this is important. It's happening on a universe. Pictures when I'm home, a few internet issues, so I apologize for that. Okay, my picture's back. I think everything's good. So hi, Marge, welcome. So okay, full moon. Let's try this again. The full moon is at 16 degrees Virgo. We've talked a lot about these 16 degrees full moon, being that this is the 6th one in a row. 16 in symbol in Chaldean numerology is the shattered citadel. In the major arcana of the tarot, key 16 is the tower. So we've been having this ongoing kind of tower energy, kind of chipping away at the old, worn out, no good foundation that we don't need anymore, outworn, whatever words you want to use, compromised, whatever words. And the whole structure needs to come down so that we can rebuild on firmer foundation. So this has kind of been our job as spiritual people, light workers, starseeds and empaths, and spiritually evolving people. It's all about transformation. It's all about chipping away at the old. Remember, spiritual growth is not about increase. You're already spirit. So you cannot be more spiritual than what you already are. So it's decrease, as J. Krishnamurti is quoted as saying, and Bruce Lee, who is a follower of J. Krishnamurti, by the way, that spiritual growth is not about daily increase, it's about daily decrease. So the 16 degrees really helps to decrease the faulty foundation that our lives, because it's built on false programming, false belief systems that are passed down generation from generation from generation from generation. And it's perpetuated in the news, in the media, and in the government, and in the corporations, with a specific agenda to disempower us so that they can remain in power at our own expense. That just can't go on anymore. The frequencies on the planet is getting too strong. It's rising too rapidly. These things cannot happen anymore. So this parade of 16 degrees full moon is kind of like the astrological roadmap, that, or one of the things that's showing us that. So moving right along. So we got that covered. 16 is Neptune ruled because it reduces to a 7. Pisces is Neptune ruled. There's a lot of Pisces energy happening. The sun is in Pisces. A full moon is always a sun-moon opposition. So what else is going on? Well, we mentioned the Saturn energy is amplified. Why is that important? Because Saturn is changing signs, I think, within hours of the full moon. It's been in Aquarius, where it's kind of like in its second home the last 2.5 years, where there's been a lot of focus, because Saturn is really about discipline. It's about lessons, karma, learning, work that we need to do. So it's been in Aquarius where we've really been kind of sort of muddling around and establishing our community, because Aquarius is very community minded. Uranus is filled with surprise. It's about evolution and revolution. So we've been really looking to those issues, but now the shift comes where Saturn goes into a sign where it's less favorable. It's not too into that watery kind of subconscious Neptune stuff, but it does give us that extra discipline and that extra focus to deal with our own subconscious issues, both collectively and individually. So Saturn's number is 8. And today, and the full moon is happening on an 8 universal day. So numbers, numerology, as well as astrology, give us a roadmap to let us know how the energies of the universe are moving through our planet and our lives at this time. So these are the clues. So Saturn's very strong and it's moving into Pisces. This is a huge shift. And any work, subconscious work that still hasn't been complete, you're going to get an extra boost, like it or not, to deal with that stuff. More water. I'm going to deal with more water now. So a couple of other little tidbits of information here. Full moon also opposes Neptune. Now the full moon, all full moons oppose the sun. So that means Neptune, which is Pisces ruler, is conjunct the sun in Pisces. So that Neptune energy, which is, intuition, it's the subconscious, it is amplified. And probably the strongest aspect, just because it's within an hour of the full moon, is that we get a very beneficial trine from the planet Uranus in this full moon, which means it's also sextiling the sun. So it's a very, very beneficial. It's also, Uranus is at 15 degrees Taurus, but it's going to move into 16 degrees Taurus a little bit later in the month. And also the full moon's going to square Mars. There's a few astrological tidbits. Let's move on to the next thing. How are we doing? Water. Everybody drink water. Let's post this. And thank you, Carissa. Put that in your pocket. Yes. And good evening, Pug Life, and everybody else that just jumped on. All right. If I can stop stuttering for a second and start talking, and that's because I need more water. I need flow, fluidity. fluidity of mind, fluidity of speech. Virgo is also Mercury ruled, so these are also qualities that we can work on in this full moon energy. So the first of 5 things we need to know in this Virgo full moon and the psychic prediction or psychic forecast. I think that's how I titled this video. One is sudden turn of events, and that Uranus trine is really going to help facilitate that. Uranus is about surprises, but it's a trine, it's favorable. So a lot of the turn of events, especially if we're doing our soul work and our inner work, is going to be favorable turns of events. Maybe not everything. Now, we're going to see that in the world around us, but I think more importantly within our own worlds and our own universes, especially if you happen to be one of those, and I don't think you'd be here if you weren't, if you happen to be one of those that is actually doing the spiritual work, that's actually working on your own ascension, because the earth is ascending, and if we work on our own stuff, we can ride that natural wave of ascension that's starting to permeate more and more in collective consciousness. So what else did I write down here? Oh yes, law of attraction will likely work more than it has, and that kind of brings me to point 2, actually, manifestation work, because all full moons are good for manifestation. When the moon is full, the psychic energy, because the moon is the reflection of the sunlight, so it's kind of like our inner light in a manner of speaking. So when the moon is full, because it governs over intuition and dreams and stuff like that, it allows our powers of intention to be stronger also, especially if you can get past the ego. You do that by getting so present, you forget who you are. Well, you don't forget who you are. You're just not a name, a body, a job, you know, anymore. Your energy, your spirit. So if you can get real present in your breath and in your intention, and then amplify the frequencies of the heart, if you can tap into the heart frequency and tap into the brain. So we talk about this a lot, right? Heart-brain coherence. So as you expand the heart frequencies, the heart's the generator, the brain or the mind is the transmitter receiver. So if you get that generator strong, then the mind gets stronger, and then the connection to spirit gets stronger. And it's through our emotions, our thoughts, and our intentions, as well as our actions, obviously, that dictate what we create in our lives. And this is where the Saturn in Pisces energy is going to be helpful, because it's going to help us to understand how we create our own reality, what little subconscious gems that you know, I'm saying that facetiously, that are maybe our old programs or traumas that are suppressed, are vibrating so deep within that we don't even know it's there, and it's perpetuating the same reality, same reality, different names, different faces, same pattern, same reality over and over again. So we have to learn to break that cycle, and that happens by being present. When we're present, we stop thinking. Most of our thoughts are either the past or the future, and thoughts elicit emotions. Emotions signal the brain to work on creating what we're feeling, because that's how the subconscious feels safe and how it feels it can survive. So the point being, as Dr. Joe Dispenza always tells us, one of my favorite teachers, that if you are in your thoughts, basically you're taking the past and making that your present reality, but the mind's also a creator of the future. So it's a record of the past, a creator of the future. So if you're in your thoughts and you're not conscious of it, you're constantly perpetuating the past and the present. And whatever you hold this present intention, aware of it or not, the universe has to respond. The universe is fractal and it's energetic. So it's constructed in a way that it has to respond to that energy. And that's where you create in the future. This is a really good full moon to start to break that. So manifestation work. And like I said, all full moons are really good for that. All right, so I think I explained that well enough, right? I can move on to point 3. Any questions? Oh, sorry to hear that. Sometimes that's an omen. That maybe that's about compassion also. Yeah, definitely. All the teachers, all the really good teachers here on YouTube and other platforms, we're all saying the same thing. And using our own, personal flair, our own personal experiences, our own personal takes, but we're more or less saying the same things, right? So number three, this is point number three is you have the opportunity to reach your next intuitive level, or the next rung up the psychic ladder, as it were, especially if you care about things like that and you're working towards that. That can include the ability to connect with your let me turn the volume off. Connect with your ability to to enhance your abilities to connect with your spirit guides, all that kind of stuff that's involved with intuition. So let me see, what did we write down here? Well, the Neptune's conjuncting the sun in Pisces is a big part of that, and of course all full moons enhance the intuition anyways. Reach your next intuitive level extremely activates the psyche. So this is going to really activate the psyche. Now, the flip side of that, Neptune is also about illusions and delusions. So if you're in any kind of a fear-based mentality or worry or anxiety or stuff like that, really try to get present and try to clear that, because we can amplify those feelings and almost make it like an illusory psychic impression, if that makes any sense. So you have to be present in your heart, then you can trust what you get from spirit. But the society, everything that's being done to us is trying to suppress us into fear, into separation, into trauma, and all this kind of stuff. And the best way to cure that's open the heart. And when you open your heart, you reconnect with spirit and source. Then you can trust your intuition. Otherwise, you may be drawing from your subconscious, suppressed trauma, suppressed shadows, and stuff like that. So there is a distinction. And when you're out of your personal mind, then spirit mind, you connect with spirit mind. So that's the idea. A message from spirit, a true psychic message, is uplifting. It's joyful. You may get chills. You may get excited, exuberant. The other kind brings fear, forebodings, more the negative, fear-based, survival-based emotion. So anyway, so I kind of put this in stars also. And usually strong psychic gifts can surface. Pay attention to your dreams. This Neptune Pisces energy is about dreams. It's really about piercing the subconscious to clear all the negative stuff that's been forced on us and that we've suppressed, basically. So, there may be a lot of emotional ups and downs. You can call that 3B, emotional ups and downs. We'll argue that into part of point 3. Again, emotions are very powerful. Don't try to stop your emotions. Rather, get present with them, step back, observe them, and then you may get some understanding and insight. And with understanding and with knowledge, then can come change also. But you have to be aware. Without awareness, that cannot happen. So, number 4, drink water. No, number 4, drink water. Because healing. Virgo is a healing sign. This is the worm moon. The worms start to get active around this time, depending on where you are, of course. I think there's another reason it's called the worm moon, but in any event, yeah. So the worm moon, yes. So healing and clearing the subconscious. Virgo heals. I'm just reading my notes because I kind of copy what was being downloaded. Powerful energies will vibrate through you to clear energy from suppressed subconscious traumas, programming, etc. In other words, all we need to do is get open, allow the flow, feel the flow. Pisces is water, water flows, right? We feel the flow when we develop enough in our meditation and presence that we can be still enough and open enough to feel the subtle energies going through you. I feel the flow always, constantly, energy, it's vibration usually. If I get still, it's stronger. If I'm super distracted, I may not feel it, in that moment. You guys get the idea. So what else do we write about that? So it's also universal 8 days. So that makes the Saturn energy stronger as it goes into Pisces to uncover the hidden blocks. So that's really good about Saturn, because Saturn is a very kind of grounded, very, I don't know what the right word is, careful maybe, a scrutinizing kind of an energy in a way. It's about lessons, learning, growth, and karma. It's not, it's not negative, but it is what it is. And so as it goes into, so it's on the universal 8 day also. Okay, hello. Maybe I need a little bit more Saturn grounding. Saturn's good for grounding also. It rules the sign Capricorn too. So, okay, universal 8 day, Saturn energy is even stronger as it goes into Pisces to uncover hidden blocks, deep subconscious issues, powerful opportunity to clear and embrace your shadow. So I'll also on the pinned comments add our latest shadow work video as well. We have such a cosmic opportunity to clear all that crap now. We've been having it all along in increments, but this is really, really huge. With the alignment of the number 8, Saturn, all the stuff going into Pisces on a full moon. I mean, Spirit cannot have scripted that better to give us a little bit of a kick in the behind in order to clear this stuff, because we don't need it anymore. It causes disease, it causes suffering, it causes us to separate from who we are as spirit. We don't need that anymore. This is our evolution. Remember, the earth is evolving herself. Frequencies are hitting this planet constantly from multidimensional sources in order to help us with the awakening. I'm going to actually again remind you that we had a beautiful channeled message for the March psychic forecast. It's up on my channel. I'll pin that to the comments also. So that was from the master teachers. They explained it really, really beautifully. So if you didn't catch that one yet, and you didn't catch that message, very, very important for this month and beyond. Now, this full moon energy is going to carry into the next couple of weeks and beyond, by the way. The peak of it's tomorrow, and then the effects start to slowly manifest in the world around us. So especially the next 2 weeks, you may see a lot of this start to surface, this stuff. So what else did we write about number 4? All right, I think we're ready for number 5. And this was the real clincher. And this I was just writing, and then it started turning automatic writing. Then I was hearing my guides, and what they said was truth seeping into the collective. And that's like the main, big kahuna of the 5 things that we need to know about this full moon. So this full moon is the bringer of the truth, according to them. Amongst other things, more focus on the, the virus, the mishandling of things, the new reports that are already coming out, by the way, that's really validating, the origins of COVID, from a lab, but it may be even more than that. Information on wars, agendas, misuse of power. The final chapter on the Piscean age is ending. It's kind of taking its final bow. It's a new dawn. The sun is setting on the old world. Information has to come out. That's just the way the energy is. It just has to. Us or they cannot do anything about it. It's kind of, if you believe in fate, it's written into the stars. So included is spiritual knowledge, extraterrestrial communication and disclosures, money systems stall, then crash, then reboot, invest in gold, they were saying, or precious metals. Use Ormus gold supplements. I had to look up Ormus gold because I didn't even know what that was. I thought they were saying Orus, and then I finally figured out it was Ormus, not Orus. They were saying Orus as an herb. And I'm going to do that myself. I mean, I think colloidal gold would suffice also, but there's a lot of power in gold. I mean, you look at history, you look at the importance of gold. It's not a coincidence that this has been like the standard of wealth and the symbol of spiritual wealth in our physical world for many, many, many centuries and millenniums. So those are the big 5 there. But remember, the main thing, this is the bringer of the truth. So there's going to be some shock value. Uranus is involved. There's going to be some shock value. It may not all happen at once. It's already starting to happen. But I think, that there's things that have been kind of shelved, like children kidnapping, sex trafficking, political misdeeds, the agendas of the deep state, or whatever you want to call them. Those select few that are the kind of the rulers of the world. They've been telling me not to say that they're trying to enslave us, but to use the word colonization for whatever reason. But there's also extraterrestrial forces. There's a lot going on, and a lot of this is going to start to surface, and a lot of people are working very hard to assist in this, both doing their own research, and there's other channels on YouTube that are good at getting the information out. But anyway, so the final chapter on the Piscean age. So we're really coming to that Aquarian age, which is more open, more community minded. Piscean age tends to be more introverted, more secretive. And that's what we've been in the last couple of 100 years. Just the covert agenda just can't keep happening. So so where are we? So let's see. There's a few other things that they wrote down, that they had me write down at the end. Big changes in Earth's energy patterns. We're seeing that already. That's why a lot of your sleep patterns are changing, why you're feeling different a lot. This is just only going to accelerate. So big changes in the Earth energy pattern. The polarity changes. So, we know the poles are weakening. We'll see if there is a full-on polarity shift. I think as I'm talking, I feel like there's extraterrestrial forces that are working with that, so that we don't wind up reverting back to cave people and everything just kind of crashes and burns when that happens. They even said the Earth's breathing pattern changes. Yes, the Earth breathes. It expands and contracts like everything else in nature. The other thing, and I didn't write this down, but they reminded me. Actually, it's in my exercises. But working with things like sacred geometry is really super important now. And the Earth breath pattern is a sacred geometry based on the Taurus, the Merkaba, the flower of life, and all these very powerful symbols that really work with the universal frequency and vibration. And if we tap into that, that helps us with our law of attraction work also. That helps us to be more powerful to create our realities, as well as to clear things. So what else were we saying? Lots of breakthroughs into cycles of karma. Saturn is karma. Pisces is the hidden and subconscious. So as we penetrate the veils of illusion and delusion of the planet Neptune, then we have breakthroughs into the cycles of karma, what it really means. And just to give you an example, because a lot of people see karma as retribution, and it can be. So it can be in a way, but it's always about learning. It's always about lessons. And chances are, if you have like deep patterns in this lifetime, like a good example is always winding up in abusive relationships. And I've had a couple of clients say to me, I must have been a bad abuser in another lifetime, because I keep ending up with abusive men or abusive women. I look at them and say, no, it's not that. It's just that you were abused in your last lifetimes also, and you're just carrying this wave. You're carrying this pattern of energy with you into this lifetime, because it becomes part of your soul's record. So when we go into a new body, the soul record, and the soul is the vehicle of our spirit, by the way, through different lifetimes and different dimensions. So we imprint our soul records into our new body, and therefore we wind up having the same patterns that we had in other lifetimes. So we're here to make different decisions. We're here to learn about that and make different decisions and change our mind, change our perspective, change our mentality, change our energy. Because when we do that, then we develop different patterns in this lifetime, and then the karma is solved when we do that. Then you can clear. Then you can use one of many good techniques to clear karmic patterns. But you have to understand what it is first. Otherwise, it's not going to go anywhere, because karma is about learning and growth. So did I make myself clear? I think I talked about that for the last 15 minutes. I hope so. So what else did we write down? Access deeper issues, deeper insights, and deeper inspirations. Okay. So Colleen saying she's a Virgo rising. I just wanted to flash this from John. Oh, yeah, yes. James Van Prague is a very well-known medium for those that don't quite understand. And so that's talking about, she's 16 degrees Virgo, so you're going to be very activated, and a lot of challenges may shift for you. It may start to get better, actually, because we have to resist. What's the old Star Trek expression? Resistance is futile. Yeah. Speaking of which, um, I always think of transhumanism, and it's like, do they really want to make us the Borg? I don't know. Anyway, for another live stream, we're talking about a lot of stuff now. They didn't really talk so much about transhumanism, but that's happening. AI is all happening. It's somebody just put in my mind. It's a sham, basically. You know how your cell phone glitches? That's not going to change, when they try to introduce transhumanism. So just keep that in mind. I'll say no more. Just keep that in mind. So here's some exercises. First thing, they were saying, work with the flow. How do we work with the flow? It starts with the present. It starts with opening our heart, opening our chakras. There's certain breathing exercises that we do that I have in other videos, that if you do them, you create more space in between your atoms and molecules and allow more chi or prana to flow through you. Therefore, you feel the flow more, because the flow is chi, it's prana. It's that layer of energy or frequency that connects us with the universal mind. It connects personal and universal mind, or earth and heaven, or earth and God, if you want to call it that. So work with the flow. Sometimes it's easier in nature, but the idea is just to get really relaxed and present, and just set the intention to feel energy moving through you. You can do breathing exercises. Yoga is really great. That opens up your energy meridians, your energy fields. We have yoga classes on the Medium channel, don't we, Doreen? We have this playlist of Doreen's classes on the Medium channel. Also, Qigong, Tai Chi, and a lot of other exercises can do that. Work with sacred geometry. That was the second thing. So of course we have my sacred geometry deck that we're gonna pull from in a second, amongst a couple of others. Sacred geometry. If you link in with sacred geometry, you link in with the patterns of the universe. What happens when you link in with the patterns of the universe? You become an alchemist, because you can vibrationally influence those patterns in your life, and the energies around you. But first, you have to understand it, and not just understanding intellectually, but allowing yourself to blend with these geometric shapes, because they're it's basically a visual representation of how energy moves through the universe. On that note, they're saying also work with the solfeggio frequencies, the nine, 6 or 9. I mean, originally there were 6 frequencies that they used. It went to 9. All part of the 369 code. So the solfeggio frequencies are basically the sonic equivalent of sacred geometry. So different frequencies, a different sacred vibration. Each different solfeggio frequency is a different frequency and sound vibration, just like each sacred geometry is a different visual vibration. So you see how that connects. And the big one here was number 4, and they're saying do regression work into earlier life. Now remember, Saturn is very active, because Saturn is going to Pisces, the sign of the subconscious, and we had this high full moon energy. So this is a good time to really start. And the way that I do, and you can do in different ways. You can work with your own meditations. You can work with guided meditation. What I do is I get always very relaxed, very present in my heart. And I call on Archangel Raphael, but you can call on your spirit guide, you can call on God, you can call on your higher self. I mean, it's all aspects of divinity anyways. But Raphael has a very strong resonance in the collective for healing, and healing the heart and healing the emotions. So I call on Archangel Raphael, and I just ask, I want to heal some trauma in my life. I may have something in mind, or I may just go back, and then I'll regress myself. Like I'll start to imagine myself 10 years ago, and then 20 years ago. And then, eventually I call, the angel comes, and we go back to a certain time, and then I'll witness. Now, if you do it this way, what you want to do is be the observer, almost like you're watching either your child self, or your younger self, or yourself in another lifetime. So you can use this for past life traumas also. And you watch it. You can feel the emotion exuding from you in this other lifetime, but you observe it with the archangel. And then what you do is you start to talk to your other self and just say, it's all necessary. You're perfect. You're great. This too shall pass. And there's no trauma. It's just growth and learning. Really get that idea. It's all about love. Everything's good. It's necessary. And give yourself a hug and integrate yourself into your heart, and then have the archangel go back, take you back to your body and back into the present moment. This may take some practice to do. I have a variation of this in one of my, in fact, that's the shadow video I'm gonna post for you, because I have a variation on this, and the 5 shadow work exercise I got. I think it's in that video. I've had this channel 2.5 years. I don't remember what's in all my videos, but anyway, that's it. So let's do some divination, and I promised. Let me just see if you guys have any questions. Or so when I did it, and there's beautiful. Oh, say, great minds think alike, right? And what's MT saying? Man, we're doing all right. Obviously, I'm missing parts of your conversation. Carry on. You can carry on without me. Yeah. All right. Let me clear my mind and ask Spirit to help me, to guide me to the right card. Oh, okay. Save. All right. Clearing my mind, bringing this beautiful Piscean energy, this really grounding, solid Saturnian energy in, and pulling my card, and here it is. Passion. Pulled that one before. Beautiful. Well, we need passion in life. Passion is the lion's share of compassion, right? It's got what 7 of the 10 letters in the word compassion is passion, right? And the idea is, if you happen to have these cards, called activations, the Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle. So if you happen to have these cards, you can use them. If not, take a mental snapshot. My autofocus is actually cooperating with me for once in a blue moon. and just absorb that. And that's the idea. You gaze on it, then you close your eyes and still see the symbol. You can place it in your heart. You can place it in your chakras. You can feel like you're inside of it, but the idea is just to be one with it. And what it says is, drumroll, the frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. And we're going to need that as the earth is changing, right? It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos into calm at the core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. Even with glasses, this print is really freaking tiny, so sorry about that. But anyway, one last showing. Close up, close up, close up, close up, close up, close up, close up. Okay, I think my silly gene is kicked in. All right, so next one we have here is Rebecca Campbell, the Starseed Oracle. Wait, I didn't do that right. There we go. Oh, there's a delay. Oh, I love that. Just kidding. All right. So let's ask for, let's tap into our star connections, our star families, and get a message from our extraterrestrial guides and helpers through the Starseed Oracle. Okay, found my card. Here we go. This is what. All right. So your message is going to be in the image. All of our messages is in the words and the general gist of this. But as you gaze in this, what your eyes are drawn to or what you see is also a personal message for you based on this full moon and everything. And what it says is, oh, I have it upside down. All right. Is that better? Okay. Earth School. Well, Saturn going into Pisces and all the stuff going on, this 8 energy, it's really about Earth School, right? It's all consistent. Life lessons, soul growth, studying higher learning. So that's our message for those of us that identify with being star seeds. connected to extraterrestrial or light workers. It doesn't matter. We're all star seeds in the end, whether or not we know it. Genetically, we're star seeds, but some of us are actually star seeds. Anyways, you get the idea. It's like, I know you get the idea. So what are we seeing, guys? Now that I have that card right side up, I know what I'm seeing. I'll tell you, because what I'm seeing, the top with the figure and the wings, that looks to me like a Caduceus, like the healing wand, which is perfect for a Virgo full moon. It feels to me like it also looks like there's spaceships coming into the earth, and that there's energy being beamed onto the planet. And I feel like this is representing like meditating on the mountaintop. We don't necessarily have to go to a mountaintop. We can bring the mountain to us, and to create your sacred mountain. That's a shamanistic practice. Mine is Cornell Mountain here in the Catskills. But also I have two, because Mauna Loa, the largest mountain, the second tallest peak in the world, if you count the ocean floor, that's Mauna Loa, the biggest mountain, second tallest in the whole planet. Mauna Kea, also on Hawaii Islands, number one. All right, so I think we got it right. If anybody says, "Hey, you took that back too soon," let me know, and I'll switch it. All right. So, by the way, tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Archangel Raphael transmission, also with the master teachers. It can really help us to heal and clear our subconscious. So for those of you that have never done the transmissions, it's an energetic experience. So there is some verbal channeling, some toning, and some light language. But these beings of light, I call them the master teachers. That's what Susie Mazzoli, who I learned from, calls them. I've heard Council of Light, Messengers of Light. I've heard a lot of names. They're not physical, they're interdimensional. So they use physical beings to affect things on the physical, myself being one of those physical beings. So they activate my energy fields. I lead the process, and through me and through the activation, and also through your own activations, they activate you as well. So it's very powerful. People that have been on this will definitely testify to that. I have tons of testimonials about people having like crown chakra openings, heart explosions, all kinds of amazing things happening. So anyway, hope you can join us. I have a feeling it's going to be really powerful. So this one is called, where's the box? Well, it's called the Divine Abundance, but I don't seem to have the box with me. I can't show you that. Well, I have the back. I don't know how I have the back of, and I don't have the front. I mean, I don't think the other part of this box walked away, or maybe it did. All right, it's official. It walked away. But anyway, these are called the Divine Abundance Oracle cards, and I'm just gonna ask Spirit to guide me to the card, and I found it already. They were fast. Intuition. What have we been talking about? Pisces, full moon, intuition, all that good stuff. Yes. Okie doke. So what it says here is, each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside and sense moment to moment what's needed. And again, I'm going to hold this up because what are you drawn to? Like, what part of this image gets your attention? Or what does it make you feel? Or what do you hear? Or what do you sense when you gaze into this? So everybody has an individual personal message, as well as the general message. Okie dokie. That's what I have for you today. This was going to be a short and sweet live stream like me. And it wound up being kind of a long but still sweet live stream. So thanks for you guys for hanging in there for all of this. Yes, keep seeing with the heart. That's the idea. I'll flash the heart. Well, in the pinned comments, I'll flash the heart brain coherence video for healing. Now, just a little sneak preview on March 30th. That's a very important date for me in my personal life. It's when my dear dad crossed over into the spirit world. So on March 30th, I'm going to do the magnified heart brain coherence class on Zoom, and it's a little ways off, but maybe starting next week we'll get some information out there so you guys can join that. It's going to be an amazing class because I'm going to teach you exactly how to do this work and how I do it anyways. And it's made I just, there's just no words, I'll put it that way, how powerful this work is. So I'm really pleased and honored to be able to do this. And once we get our website up and I'm able to edit, I have a longer course that's going to be available for purchase on the website. But this will be discounted. It'll be about 2 hours. So that's coming up. And again, tomorrow, 7 p.m., channeling with the master teachers and Archangel Raphael. Thank you, everybody. I love you. See you at the next video. Good night.